Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Baka.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
How's everybody doing?
Doing wonderful. Doing
How
wonderful.
you doing?
Wonderful. Amazing.
Amazing. Amazing and wonderful.
Yes.
It's such a positive day today. Jeez, what kind of drugs did everybody put in their coffee this morning?
I haven't had any coffee today, so I might be like this. Halfway there.
This is my coffee for the day so far.
But I do have bourbon and Coke currently, so, there's
Well,
that.
you got caffeine. I mean, there's pop
Same
there,
thing.
so.
Right?
Yeah.
Alcohol, coffee, same
What
thing.
games has everybody been playing?
Wow.
Not
He's in the
in
middle of a sentence and just cut you off. She's
I know,
like,
right?
Because he's
She's like,
keep
hell with
going on
that.
about crack. I know how he is. About crack, specifically.
Welcome to the Crack Show. I don't know. This podcast changed quite a bit, I guess, since last week.
Evidently.
It changes quite a bit week to week.
Apparently.
That's why we're loved. You know?
Yeah.
That's
I
why I
don't
look
know
at
if
it.
consistency is really our thing.
Lord have mercy. I'll go first because I only have one, which is I've been playing Mario Rabbids a lot.
Is it good?
I love it so much. My favorite part though was last night. I had to come back and play it today just because of last night. Basically the way this thing works is there is one Rabbid that has like a set of VR goggles, if you will, and if he's able to look at another Rabbid along with combined items, then those
Okay.
items all combined with that Rabbid, which is and so.
Seems
That
like cheating.
So that's what you usually have to fight against. Well, the one last night, I was dying because you have Bowser Jr. basically, and he has control of this Rabbid, and he tosses a record player, a Rabbid, and a Boo all together. And
Sounds
it
like the
becomes
setup for a really bad joke.
It becomes this opera singing Rabbid.
And
that
it was the setup for a really bad
sings
joke.
this whole thing where he's just like sings this whole deal on stage. And the idea is anywhere the spotlights were at, if he was in front of the spotlights, you had to eliminate the spotlights, and then you could actually hurt him, and then you had other people around that you had to destroy at the same time that you were trying to make that happen. And he was on the big bosses like that. They'll move from one area to another, so it's usually like 3 times that you have to really kill them in order to be able to do anything. But so the first one he sang, and then you eliminate him twice basically, and between the second and third time you had to try to eliminate him, he sang like another little part, and then the death scene, right? Because this is a Mario game, nobody really dies, right?
Just pass out.
It's so dramatic. It was so awesome because he just like lays down and wobbles across the stage. And it was so dramatic. And he was like, oh. Oh, it was
Wow.
fantastic. I was dying. Oh, so
I wouldn't expect anything less from a Rabbid.
No, and you know what's great is like I can sit here and play the game and enjoy everything that like the humor and everything that goes along with having Rabbids and Mario and stuff together. But the other thing is like the gameplay of it is just so much fun to where it's like, okay, I figured out what I really need to do. So you'll just start back up on a level, like you'll get about 3/4 through a level and go, no, this is what I should have done. Restart battle, and restart the battle and do what you got to do. But it's just so much fun. I love it so much. So, which I'm on. I don't know how many worlds there are. I'm on the 4th world now, which
Well, if it's like typical Mario games, there's usually like 8 worlds or so.
right, and
So
there's
you halfway.
each one of these worlds is. I mean, it's very similar. I mean, each one of these worlds you have 8 worlds. Well, each 8 levels inside of each world.
Do you want to know how many levels there are?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I was
I wouldn't
wondering, are
be
you
surprised at the
Googling
end.
it right
No,
now?
when we bought it, I've read it.
Oh, okay.
So,
Just kills me that he is like 100% okay with spoilers and everything.
It's not a spoiler. All I know is how much there is to the game. It's like games with chapters and whatnot.
You're way better about spoilers than anybody else I know. Like, it doesn't ruin the experience for you at all.
Because just because I know what happens doesn't mean that I know how it happens. Like, I could know that somebody dies in a game, but it's not going to affect me until I actually see it happening and the build up to it. Like
see, that would bother me. Because I feel like they would tell me something in the spoiler that would lead to know that that was what was going to happen. You know? And it was just like, that would ruin it for me. Because, like, it's...
That's what I'm saying, is he's just different than everybody else. Because that's like the general thing is, like, no spoilers because I don't want it ruined. And he's like, it doesn't ruin it for me. It's fine.
I mean, for Final Fantasy, I read a spoiler, and I read a pretty major spoiler, and it didn't ruin it for me. So...
You're just different. You're so different.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
I'm a unique
I'm not
noodle.
criticizing.
That's how.
Well, but to be fair, we need someone like him in the group, though. Because it's going to be that one moment where you're sitting there and you're going, I've got to know. And he'll go, do you really want to know?
You don't know how crazy that drives me. Movies, games, TV, whatever. He's like, do you really want to know? And it's like, well... I mean, now that I know I want to ask, but I don't want it spoiled for me because I'm just, commiserating over here. But I hate when he says that.
But see, he could also appease you, too, because you'd be like, I'm so worried about blah, 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 right? Insert name character here, right? And then you just turn around and go, all right, do I need to worry as much as I'm worrying right now? And then he could kind of prepare you, hand you a box of Kleenexes.
Be ready. Or
or he could just be like, okay, here's a bourbon straight, like he has an idea of what to hand you at that point, or he could just be sit down there on the couch. It kind of gives you a hint. Okay, I should feel okay at ease at this, whatever. Okay.
To be fair, that's how we did it with Final Fantasy. Like when we were getting close to the end, I was like, you better prepare yourself. No matter, it's gonna be rough from here on out. So
and you didn't tell me how, and then it was
You basically got to prepare yourself, or don't worry, it'll work out fine. And you're like, "Yay! Now I can be excited and whatnot." Or it's like, "Oh God, I cannot handle this. I don't want to play anymore." The same thing with Ollie. He knows that he's about to get serious in the game, so.
Yeah, Ollie sent a tweet out last night that said that he was getting into he was in chapter 8 and he didn't know if he should go out and buy ice cream and tissues now.
Yes.
Like, yes.
Yes, you should. Be ready, Ollie.
I restarted. I didn't restart. I went to another save file and restarted Final Fantasy because we have a game come in from GameFly. And it's Horizon Zero Dawn, but Chicken called dibs on playing it first. So I'm like in this holding pattern where I'm waiting to play it. And he just got started yesterday, so I know I'm gonna have a minute.
It's so good. Oh my God.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God.
But I restarted it, and this is like the second or third game that in your second run through, you meet a character kind of early on, and the second you see him the second time around, you're like, you fucking liar. I fucking hate you. I can't wait to burn your face down. But like you remember playing it the first time and you're like, oh, okay, well this guy's pretty neat and interesting and whatnot.
Trust me, I was with that in the back of my head while you were playing. I was just like silently venting, going, and you're just over there going, oh wow, he looks cool, and I'm just like, you're dumb. Don't look at him. Push him off the cliff now. Save us the trouble.
He'll steal you blind.
Exactly. Just get rid of him. Solve the whole problems right here, right now. Call it a day.
There's only like a handful of games that I can think of where it introduces somebody who will ultimately be either a bad guy or terribly problematic in the long run really early and presents them as a good guy. And
Welcome to Final Fantasy.
It's not just Dragon Age did it.
Welcome to
Inquisition,
RPGs.
The second time you play Inquisition, as soon as you meet one of them, you're like, fuck you. I know what you did.
That's RPGs
that happens
for
a
you.
lot, though. Like movies, games, any type of adventure something. Right? You'll have that one character you feel like you should trust. But now I'm so jaded at this shit that it's like I'll watch a movie and I'll go, I don't trust him. Like there's something about it I don't trust. And I don't know if it's because I'm so jaded from everything else or legitimately my feeling is correct. I shouldn't trust this guy.
Now I'm going to spend the rest of the day trying to compile a list of things in which that's happened to me. Great.
Suikoden twice that I can think of offhand, actually. There's some characters and they're like, oh, this character's awesome and badass, and then he just backstabs you and joins the enemy. Like, you little bitch.
Damn it.
Happens a lot. Happens a lot.
I also played, yesterday my sister came down and we started out with Trials. Don't download community maps for that game. It's like, this one's medium. And then there's things that are 100% impossible. Like, we found out last night that if you fail 100 times, it just stops the track.
Yep, it says did not finish.
Yep. Like, you were so bad at this that we just were not going to let you continue.
So some of the tactics that they want you to do on those medium maps are what is on the hard maps in the campaign. Yeah. It's like, man, I like some of these hard maps, like,
or extreme.
Yeah, they give you little bits of this stuff, and then on these custom maps, it's like, oh, this is a medium, and they want you to do it like extreme versions of the hard maps, and it's like, what the fuck are you guys on crack? Come on, bring it back down a little bit.
See, I want high flying maps. That's my favorites on those. The ones I don't like the tactic ones where you have to learn how to do the
bounce
bunny hops and all that stuff, right? I like the ones where you're going full force and you have to hit a jump just right, and if you hit the jump just right, you can spin around the thing and, you know, spin out or whatever. Or you've got a higher and a lower track. One's more difficult than the other, you know, and if you hit it just right, you get on one. If you can't, then you have to go on the other. That type of stuff. I enjoy that one.
Well, we played it for a little bit and then got stuck. And we're stuck. And even Chicken.
Frustrated.
Yeah, even Chicken was in here, like, about to throw my controller. I'm like, well, you know, maybe we should just not do that. So we swapped to Mario Kart.
Oh, they had a blast.
Good one to swap to.
That's a good one to swap to when neither one of you have played with the Nintendo stuff in a really, really long time. And you start with 50 cc's and you're like, this is fine. We're great at this. And I think we went up to like 150.
No, you guys just did
we
nothing
went to
but
100.
hundreds.
Yeah. And it's like the first 2 laps of the 100 stuff, we're like, yeah, this is good. And all of a sudden, by the time you hit that 3rd lap, the AI grow brains. And they're like, fuck you guys. You'll go I went from 1st to 7th in one of them. I was like, on the 3rd lap. I had been in 1st the whole time. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Welcome to Mario
Kart.
Kart.
On that last lap.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so mean.
Well,
at
on
one
the
point,
new one,
my sister was like, I'll be fine coming in 12th. And that's like the end.
On the new one, they have like 200 cc or 250 cc.
Yeah,
it's 200 cc. The mirror and then 200 cc. There are 5 different styles.
Ridiculous how fast that one is and how good they are.
Those motherfuckers are crazy. I played one of them and I got 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. I got continuously bad as it went on.
Oh god. Yeah, it was fun. We played one. So, okay, I got a question. We were into this last night. Do the credits always play after any version of Rainbow Road? Is that just like what they do?
Yeah, I think so because it was the end of the game.
Okay, because we were playing like the different cups, and one of the cups had a Rainbow Road in it, and it showed the credits afterwards because it was the last race in the match. And then we played the next cup, and it had a Rainbow Road at the end of that one too, and it showed the credits again. And we're like, we've already watched it.
Normally, it shows the credits after every single one. Like when you finish a Grand Prix.
It was just those 2 for some reason.
It should show.
Well,
I don't know.
It was weird.
I just remembered after Rainbow Roads. That's the only thing I remembered off of. Which, by the way, is fun if you got the little bumper thing off on Switch. So instead of having it,
I almost
we're playing
on one of them because I slid off and slid onto like the lower part and ended up in front of some people. I'm like, yes, and then somebody pushed me off and I was 8th.
Yeah, there used to be a technique
on
one of them. I want to say it was for the Wii. I don't think it was Double Dash, but one of the Rainbow Roads.
I think it was the GameCube version or 64.
Yeah, if you hit it just right, you could actually leap off of the side, land onto another one, and you're full.
Yep.
Damn, I need to find that.
Shortcuts.
I told her next week that I would find the GameCube, and we would play SSX Tricky because that's what we used to play as kids. And Chicken's like, you don't want to play with her. She's only going to play to let you, make you feel bad. She's going to win. And I was like, dude, she used to beat me all the time at this game.
The guy that wins at everything except that game.
I chose not to play Trials Fusion or Mario Kart with them because of how much I would beat them. So I chose to let them play by themselves.
Though.
Yeah, like I went in there to pull the Switch and I played around, and they looked at it and they're like, "I'm playing with you." I was like, "What?" I play a lot of Mario Kart.
You play a lot of everything. Shut up. Stop being so good.
It's a natural
Mario
talent.
Kart is Mario Kart is awesome.
Yes.
Like it's just so good. So good. We found ours. Ours went missing for like a month.
I told you.
Let me tell you where we found it. Somewhere my wife had already looked.
Oh.
She found it, and I was like, "Where'd you find it?" She was like, "I found it in the love seat." And I was like, "You already looked there?" She's like, yes, I already looked there." And I was like, "Wow,
Oh,
really?"
Wow.
Then
So
she
we're
had
in
like
my
this
life.
whole theory on why she didn't see it the first time and all this stuff.
Yeah, explain it. Go ahead.
Or
yeah.
you're just bad at hide and seek.
What about you, Chicken and Buck? What have you guys been doing?
Played around a little bit with Total War, played around with the orcs, found out that they are more akin to my playstyle, which is
Kill
everything and just keep going. Because if you do that, you build up the WOG, and
You got to do it right. Come on.
Build up the
and
WOG.
it basically gives you another full army to charge into either another army or place or something like that, and they just go and attack. So,
So
it's like,
big
all right,
murderous,
cool.
crazy
I've got
things.
like 2 of them, and then 2 of my normal groups of armies. So I had basically 4 armies attacking the dwarf main base, and just completely ran them over.
Congrats on
it
your
is-
slaughter of the bots.
Yeah, it was a slaughter.
The dwarven slaughter.
That's so sad. It's so sad.
I ate the
It's
little
okay.
dwarves to get my army back up in numbers.
Woo.
Wee.
Played some Blood Bowl.
That's so funny.
Played PUBG. Other than that, I've just been kind of like messing
Divinity.
with
We
models.
played Divinity last week.
Yeah, played Divinity. We played
Yeah.
HOTS.
Yeah. That didn't go so well.
Hey, we went
Played what?
5 for 5. Here's the storm.
Oh,
We went 5
Together,
for 5.
it was the 3 of us, and
Not that bad. Me and Bach have gone on losing streak days. 5 for 5 works for me.
yeah, we got like raffle stomped in a couple of those though.
Yeah, but it was like us 3 versus a complete 5-man team.
Yeah.
And I say that because on both the games we lost someone on our team. They were just like, nope, I'm not even dealing with this.
Yep, and they just left, so.
We didn't get a single tower. Whatever.
Yeah.
Chicken, do you want to gush about, I almost said Divinity, Horizon Zero Dawn?
Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a really good game. It reminds me so much of a Far Cry game. Like, it shares a lot of similarities in it, except...
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Except with this one, with Far Cry, you've kind of got the story and everything right there. Where this one, you've got the story right there, but they put so much lore in behind it, where you're just like, I am so interested and so invested to like what happened. How did we get here? These things are so crazy that are in this world. It's super fascinating. I'm pretty much in awe at everything that's kind of happening. The gameplay is...
I'm going to need you to hurry it up so I can play it.
The gameplay is solid as it gets. Like, you got stealth you could play aggressive. Basically you could literally be a huntress. You could set up like little traps and whatnot, and you can lure things in and trap them. It's crazy good. I'm barely... Like, the whole beginning part is like a little tutorial, and I was like, oh, wow, this is a nice big area. And then you go out the gate, and I open up the map, and you can fucking, like, zoom out, and it's like, oh, this is pretty good. God, where does it stop? Holy shit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
so huge.
Yeah.
But did you, now that you've started this game, how did you feel about how they introduced you to your character at the beginning and her story to start with? Like, I was amazed at, and then I've got to ask one question. Did you throw the rock or not?
I hit the rock out of the kid's hand.
Okay.
I felt like she was going to be a little smarter, so that's... I haven't taken any of the aggressive choices yet. She's usually smart or charming. Those are the two that I stick to. But I really liked how they introduced her, because you see her when she's very young, and then you get to play with her as a child, and, you know, you got to go through all of that and actually see her story developed from that, and then you kind of watch it from there. And then I was like, oh, when's it gonna happen? When's she gonna be an adult? When do I get to play again? And then boom, it's like, oh, all right. And then the story really begins, and you get into it. And I think they handled it very well. Good story development on her behalf. And I gotta say, she's a badass. Like, holy shit, she is amazing. I love her as a main character. She is awesome. So, and they did a good balance too. You know, character flaws, badassness. So far, I'm enjoying it. I need to play some more of it. I will be playing some more of it. I haven't turned off the PS4. It's just in rest mode right now. As soon as I'm done, I will wake it back up and get back to it.
Let's rate you better.
Oh, I will. It's good. Like, it's really good. I've been waiting for this game since I put it on GameFly, and as soon as I saw it in my email, Horizon Zero Dawn's on its way. I'm like, oh, finally. So I am definitely enjoying it. Need to go back and play some more. Have to. It's an addiction now.
Crack.
Yes.
That's what good games do. See, I told you were all about the crack.
All about the crack. All about it. Need more of it.
Oh, good. Well, you guys want to talk about news? There's some news about some of the crack that you guys have been into recently.
There is.
Well, I mean, everybody was cracked out on PUBg for a little bit, and that's in the news because PUBG's mad at Fortnite because they put out a Battle Royale mode thing, and PUBG feels like they owe that style.
All I have to say is they are some salty little bitches. I mean, the only reason PUBG is even mad in the first place is that Fortnite released on consoles before they got a chance to. So
and the Fortnite one is a free standalone, so you don't even have to have Fortnite to play their Battle Royale.
Yeah. Which also makes them a little salty, too, because now you don't even have to buy the game. You could just fucking
throw down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't disagree with him on this, though. I mean, you're looking at a guy that created a Battle Royale for 3 games, technically. He created one for Arma.
He created a mod for Arma.
Created King of the Kill.
Okay.
And then he also has now created this PUBG. So it's like he's known for creating this. So I can understand the bitterness on their side of it.
I think he's known for creating it because those got kind of popular, but the idea of a Battle Royale playstyle is not something that he could trademark and say, I invented this playstyle.
Because, I mean, you go back to the movie way back when Battle Royale.
No, but have you seen the playstyle from Fortnite?
I have not.
Okay. I watched Ian from Eurogamer play it. And it's basically the same concept, where you got the ever-shrinking thing, just like you do in King of the Kill, and then
H1Z1 too. Like every Battle Royale game has that in it.
Okay, so it continues to shrink.
Right.
And as it continues to shrink, the drops, the loot, everything looks exactly the same. The only cool aspect that I really have to give it for Fortnite is the building aspect. Because I watched guys quickly build shit to get up on the top of a mountain to be able to snipe people as they were getting through. It was amazing watching these people work. What was a cool concept too that I really thought was neat, the person that kills you can follow them until they die.
Oh my god, I've actually wanted that in PUBG because sometimes you just die in PUBG and you're like, what the fuck? Hello?
Well, right, and so you can actually watch that person continue on with the game. And it was funny because the one that killed Ian and the one that I watched actually was the one that won that match. And he was when it comes to building, he was so fast on it. Now that's an extra element that's not something that's available for PUBG, and it's kind of, and that might be where some of the bitterness gets too. Shit, you got shit I can't do available to you as an option, right?
I'm just gonna instantly build up a shack around this tiny little circle.
Oh shit! I'm being shot at.
Come up and get me.
Build walls to kind of get to somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean they built this guy built stairs and got up to the top of a mountain, and then what he did is he destroyed part of the stairs when he got to the top of the mountain, so that way nobody could follow him without having to build, so he could hear the building going on, and then he built a brick wall in front of himself as cover. so he could lean out and watch.
You could
both
really
directions.
screw yourself doing that, because if you built that and the play area shrank and then shrank past that, you're outside with all this shit you built. Now you can't get down because
Well,
you
he built the
your
wall.
stairs.
He built the wall based on looking at the circles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like he saw the shrink, and then it was the last little bit of the game that it was like 3 people left, and he happened to be one of them, and he was sitting up on the hill sniping people. But I was just like, that's pretty smart. But like now, Ian nearly screwed himself because he was trying to show everybody that was watching how you could build the stuff and how you could build yourself a fort and set up and do all that type of stuff, and nearly got himself caught outside the circle. But which there it's a storm, and it looks just like the shield looking thing, the what is that? That's an electrical field, I think, in PUBg.
Yeah.
It looks just like that electrical field. Like,
Well, that's just the standard Fortnite.
Yeah, that's
storm
in
shield
the main
mechanic.
campaign
Like,
too. It's got the shield.
oh, okay.
Yeah, that's been theirs.
So,
I
but
don't know. I feel like with a battle royale, PUBG is just the hottest one right now, but it's not territory that other people aren't gonna tread on. So for them to be mad about it, I really do think that part of their irritation is Chicken's right, is that it comes to consoles before PUBG does. So
I mean, it's gonna tickle everybody's fancy who's on console and wants to try that battle royale style. First, you could play it for free, no investment. You could just, I'm actually interested in it. I'm gonna go ahead and dabble in Fortnite. So, also maybe conspiracy theory here, since PUBG uses the Unreal Engine. Epic Games was like, hey man, can you cause some controversy and get our name out there? And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem, bro, I got your back. We hate Fortnite. Fortnite is a terrible game. They're stealing our thunder. Fortnite, you shouldn't play Fortnite. Conspiracy.
that's an interesting tinfoil hat that you've got there.
you've got a massive amount of people
Yeah,
playing PUBG,
well,
so
I
I
mean,
don't really think
there's
it's gonna
someone
affect
else
it.
who's already developing one that's kind of like PUBG, but it's 400 people for a
Ooh.
tactical shooter.
Yeah, the tactical map thing with 400 people. Okay, I don't know. Like, 100 people is a little extreme and everything, but still, I guess, somewhat manageable. But it just seems like once you get into hundreds of people, you're going to have a problem. Like, Mag ran into that problem trying to find enough people to fill their servers and shit like that. It's like, are you going to have 400 consecutive people playing one map at the same time?
I think
When it first
PUBG could
comes
pull
out?
this off, and maybe even the
Yes.
Fortnite one eventually could pull it off. But I think you first starting it out, that's where I would see that you would have a hard time pulling them, unless you can get the advertising out there, which obviously they're on his website. But I mean, if you'd have to really push that you're going to have that 400 on there, and your gameplay's got to be top notch. Like it's
Yeah.
got to be damn near perfect to keep
Well, and
400
it
people
means
in
your
there.
servers better be worth a damn too, because if it's 400 people and 80% of those people are lagging because of how many people are on the server at one time, yeah, that's
Well,
gonna
so
be
what's
super
interesting to
fun.
me,
peer to peer.
Because
Oh,
you're going with the
God.
larger map, right? They're increasing the size of the map.
Yeah, it's a
to make-
bigger map.
And currently, you're an 8 kilometer by 8 kilometer with 100 people. So, I mean, do you go 4 times the size of
They
that,
went-
or do you go just double the size of that?
Theirs
It
is 12
it's
by
12
12.
by 12 kilometer.
So
Okay,
I mean, it's
so
gonna
that's
be
not too bad.
Yeah, it's
I mean, you
still
just
going to be
added-
packed because you're quadrupling the amount of people and like multiplying the map by 1.5 times instead of, quadrupling the map. So it's this one, if that's the right size with 400 people, it is going to get intense very quickly no matter where you drop.
Assuming that you have 400 people playing at one time
Yeah, true.
at any
Like,
given point.
the best thing
So
for
it's going to be everyone's dropping it at school everywhere.
Oh my god. The amount of holy shit, I can't even imagine 100 people dropping into one area and then just fucking ending right there.
Well, you already have the people online that have been streamers and stuff that have made the custom games and had the 100 people that were doing dancing through the streets and
Yeah.
all in cars and all swimming and doing all that type of stuff. Could you imagine 400, somebody coordinating 400 people in one little area? The game would break. There is no way.
There's no way that your patience would stand to corral 400 idiots at one time.
No,
Like,
hell
all
no.
400 of us, or I guess 399 plus you.
Yeah, no.
All right, everybody. Number 75, shut up. 382, stop talking.
Who gets to
Oh
be
my
number
God.
Eyes
one?
back on.
I am.
Oh Lord.
That's just crazy.
I did watch some zombie thing or something with people doing the zombie mode or whatever, and it was the same type of coordination. It was like 90 versus 10, and they like basically what they did is they like coordinated 90 people. So at the end, just to see if they could bum rush the people with actual weapons enough to overthrow them right at the end. So they just met in one area.
Dude, that's got to be difficult. I mean, it's hard enough trying to run 40-man raids in World of Warcraft.
Right.
Yeah, no
and 40
shit.
people listen to you at one time.
It's like, everybody get down, everybody get down. Like, and you just see these zombies like laying down on the ground and just kind of moving, and they're like, okay, all right, ready, get up, go, and you just see all of them go around the thing.
I like seeing them all like run at people in the fog. Like I saw one game where it was in the fog. They only had shotguns and pistols for weapons, and it was 4 people versus like what was it, 96 zombies.
Yeah.
Good God.
Damn.
What do you guys think about how, with going back to the Fortnite thing, how they were accidentally allowing PS4 and Xbox One players to play together? Accidentally. Because, you know.
All I have to say is that it's difficult to make it cross-platform, and they did it on accident. They're like, oh, oops, my bad.
We just flipped the switch and forgot it was flipped. Our bad, let us fix
It's
that.
that easy to cross-platform. Like,
Well, of course it is. All it is it's basically a server sitting there going, okay, well, we're going to allow this signal to come in, and we're going to allow this signal to come in, and you two can play together. But it's
But
the two
Tony says
systems.
Sony's
no.
being a little bitch about it. Sorry, but they're being a bitch about it. It's like, I
We
mean,
can't protect our young players. Oh, okay, but Nintendo's all right.
yeah, sorry, but if Nintendo is letting it happen and you don't, you are on the wrong about protecting the children.
On an inferior product. I mean, like graphics wise and processor wise and all that stuff. Like, it's Nintendo's like, not only are we going to do cross platform, we're going to do it with people that we should be able to.
Cross-platform, where in a game where it's easy to grief people too, because Minecraft you can go and destroy people's shit if you're on their server and whatnot. So all you have to do is like show up, pour some lava all over their hard-built houses and everything, and then log off and
just
leave.
watch it all burn.
Well, you'd log off after you watch it burn.
Well, you know, whatever. Maybe you don't want to see the carnage. You're just like, I know that kid's crying now.
Or maybe,
My job
maybe
is
it makes
done.
you feel better that it's burning when you sleep.
What'd you do that for? I needed to sleep tonight.
Yeah, I just thought it was really interesting and funny that Epic was like, oops, sorry, forgot we flipped that switch, you guys.
My
And everybody's like, oh my god, it's that easy.
It's that easy.
It's that easy and nothing terrible happened. The world did not implode. No little kids were scarred for life. I mean...
All the children's were scarred for life.
Like, Sony, this should assuage some of your fears. At least a little bit.
A little bit. Probably not.
No, it didn't. Sony probably got mad about it. Called up Epic. What the fuck are you doing? We said no. Epic's like, our bad, man, our bad.
It was a mistake, man.
It was a new guy that was running the server farm that night, and he just fell
We
asleep
thought
on
he
the
could handle
button.
it, but apparently not.
You should fire him. He got a promotion. We're definitely gonna talk about it. Like,
Good job. You showed the world how easy it was and how stupid Sony's being about it.
just thought it was funny.
Too funny.
Interesting news.
Yes, very much.
Now, we did have a couple weeks ago, there was a quote that came from Pete Hines from Bethesda that said, we're working on stuff that we haven't even talked about yet. And so I actually have a friend that used to work with Bethesda, and I tried to figure out exactly what it was that was going on. Well, according to Pete Hines, there was nothing. But according to Nintendo and according to Bethesda now, Doom is now coming to the Nintendo Switch, which there's actually a build
I
of it.
thought they
that's
talked about that
It's
like a couple weeks ago.
Doom and something else.
it was just now on the last
I
week's
thought Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein? I think it's Wolfenstein 2 that's coming to the
Wolfenstein's
Switch.
Yeah.
possibility too.
Yeah. So
Okay.
everybody, which is good, companies are interested in what they can do with the Switch. It's good. The Switch is
Well,
doing well, and it's generating interest.
Well, and if in looking at the graphics, it's really interesting because Digital Foundry? Is that the name of it? That tests out a bunch of the different setups and stuff on games and make sure that they're right frame rates and all that stuff.
I think so.
They actually did a build of a PC and could not get the PC to be the same level as the Switch, like low enough. So they did as much as they possibly could and were able to run Doom with no problem. But then they tried to run, I think it was Battlefield 1. It was awful. Like it wouldn't work, wouldn't do anything. So whatever Bethesda's doing on their end of it allows them to be able to get it down to that level. And then they've already worked with the Switch anyway because of Skyrim and stuff. So it'll be very interesting to see what else comes out and if they start developing games specifically for the Switch based on the way it's designed. And if Bethesda does that,
So we have Nintendo that's allowing games on their consoles to let kids shoot Nazis and demons, but Nintendo will not play with anyone, or not Nintendo, or Sony will not play with anyone.
Wow.
Well, because they're not worried about what you do in your own tiny bubble. It's what other bad influencers could say to you from other platforms, and what recourse would we have if somebody from Xbox called you ugly? We're protecting you.
What year are we living in? Nintendo's going forward, like forward-thinking third parties, great console, cross-platform play, and then Sony's over here, like, buying up exclusives, not letting anybody play with anything, being all greedy and holding shit to themselves.
Kind of like the fat, greedy kid that, like, grabs all the candy and, like, doesn't share.
But the flip side of that, too, though, is that Sony's got some of the best first-party stuff right now. I mean, we've got Last of Us 2 that everybody's waiting on.
Microsoft just had some of the great stuff, and now they're just kind of being more open about it. So it's like they switched places now. Sony's like,
we've got all of this great stuff, and you want to be over here regardless of how shitty the rest of our stuff is. We're like, but we could just be everywhere, Sony. We could be, and we are. Like,
think about how much better Sony, like if Sony did open up the whole cross-platform gaming and still had, some really good like exclusive games like with the Last of Us.
Well, I mean, they would. It's not like opening up cross-platform play means that you have to share your intellectual properties with everybody else.
Right.
Nobody said that.
No.
But Sony's just acting like, sticks in the mud about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stupid stick in the mud.
Well, and I think what Microsoft did is they embraced the fact that they have a PC sitting on somebody's television. Like,
pretty much.
I feel like they go, okay, this is Windows 10 running on a TV, but it's specifically designed to just do this, right? And said, okay, we're going to take care of this. This is how we're going to do it. And if you buy this version of it, just log in and you can get that too. Like if you got a PC, just log in, you're good.
Pretty much.
I think that Microsoft is just figuring out ways to be very open about everything and be able to move this stuff back and forth. I mean, if you look at it from a gaming standpoint, it's very similar to what Apple does with their regular products, like their phones, their iPads, their Macs. They're all connected with different, with basically the same app. They even look the same on the product. And I think that that's what Microsoft is doing, but they're doing it from a gaming standpoint because, honestly, PCs are known for gaming, where something like a Mac is not normally known for gaming. So, so I think that it's brilliant to me that they're doing that, where Sony just seems to be stuck in that we're consoles, that's what we're supposed to do, and we're not going to share with anyone. It's like, no, it's like the old Sega versus Nintendo. It was the whole Sega Genesis does what Nintendo don't, and it's that whole line that we had back in the 80s. It's it's like Sony hasn't gotten out of that, and their fan base hasn't either. Like, if you really think about their diehard fanboys, they haven't got out of that mentality either. We're so much better. And it's like, but there's good qualities. No, there's not. Yes, no, there's not. It's like
there are definitely some Nintendo people and some Xbox people that are the same way.
I don't disagree with that.
I think Nintendo people have gotten a bit more humble in the later stages. They're like, Nintendo's got good games. Yeah, everybody else has got good shit.
Mario, Zelda.
I mean,
yeah, I don't think people buy Nintendo though for the quality of the graphics necessarily. I think they buy it for the gameplay itself.
Graphical fidelity on the Switch.
Yeah, so I think that I mean, it still amazes me though. Like if you're looking at the screen on the Switch, how awesome the Nintendo first-party games look.
Yes.
Like it just amazes me, that little 4K television. That's basically what it is. I mean, it's the same setup, but it only goes to 1080p for some.
Square Enix is working on getting Final Fantasy over there.
Oh God! If they can
that's a
port
pretty
that
graphically
game,
intense game.
wow.
Even
is
for
all I've got
Xbox,
to
like
say.
I'm sure Final Fantasy is probably graphically at its best on the PS4. I'm like 80% sure of that. But I think that if they can get it to work for the Switch, that it would look really, really amazing.
Mm-hmm. I think it would look good,
Absolutely.
and I think where Nintendo would benefit, which they're going to wait a little bit on, but I imagine it'll eventually come out. I think what they'll benefit on is back catalog, and I mean everybody's back catalog. Games they weren't able to play for the Wii U, go to a popular game, something that was on there, something you wouldn't be able to get on the Wii U, and end up putting it on a Switch. I mean, because and then you do something that's unique to the Switch. If Chicken and I are in the same room together and we happen to own the same game, we're able to play together.
Yep.
Which is what you can't do on any other platform. And
Well, because most other platforms aren't mobile like that. They're not meant to go places.
Well, hell, most of the local split screen from games have been removed. I mean, even at that sense, you can't couch play with people. Makes it so difficult.
It's all about, hey, you want to play with a friend? Awesome. They've got to have their own console and their own TV and their own internet and their own Xbox Live service or PlayStation service.
Yep. Which, I mean, just... There's so much availability for the Switch and Nintendo products in general. Like, you can just play split screen if you want. Or you can take your whole console and go play with somebody.
Mm-hmm. Well, their consoles were always smaller. With the exception of the Wii U, it was kind of large. But, you think about the Wii.
Even
Wii
that
was
one,
big.
compared to the rest of the consoles, is still small. Like, if you want to compare it to the rest of
Well,
everybody else.
it's skinny, but it's long.
It is, but it's not that. Like, I'm looking at it from here because it's sitting on the counter now. And it's probably just as, like, deep back as the Xbox One is. But, like, probably a little less than half the size width-wise.
The Wii U?
I agree with that. Yeah.
So, I mean, the Wii U. It's still
the Wii U's not that much bigger.
A small console compared to everybody else. Like, if you wanted to compare it to 360, which was out during its lifetime as well, I mean, 360 or PS3.
I think the Nintendo 64 would have been bigger.
Actually, I think it is.
They're probably right around the same size.
Yeah, they're about the same size. I mean, Nintendo's so good at compacting. I mean, this thing right here, this
Nintendo's
little
like,
Switch,
how small can we make this?
They're very...
That's what technology did. I mean, for a long time, it was like, okay, we started off with these big, huge phones, right? And we're like, what information could we put into something this big? And then for some reason, the phone started expanding back in size.
Well, it's because now you've got screens, so you want to be able to see things that you're looking at.
I guess so, but they expanded back in size, and well, it's also, if you listen to the manufacturers of those, it's because they have extra components they got to add because the processes are faster and all that, which is also why we no longer have regular headphone jacks anymore. That those are being eliminated
so
from everything. And it's like, okay, that's extra space.
We're advancing technology. We're taking away your
Switch
headphone
even
jack, and we're going through and we're adding in facial recognition. Oh wait, Android already beat us to that one.
I mean, the Switch has headphone jacks. I mean, they don't have a problem.
You shut
fitting
up
it in
with your, whatever, because reasons.
a couple more years, that's going to be the
Apple's
size.
being hipster.
Apparently, I mean, like, what the hell?
Apple always wants to be hipsters. What else?
I'll disagree with that, but all right, whatever. Go ahead, move on.
You want to talk about the secret game that may or may not be on the Switch?
I have not found it yet, but I would like to find it.
Well, you haven't found it yet because it's not the right date.
Oh.
Surprise! You have to have it. Like, basically, if you've ever hooked your Switch up to the internet, you won't be able to change the date on it. So, but it has to be July 11th, which is the day that Iwata passed in 2015, and you have to do a specific hand gesture with the Joy-Cons, which was his direct hand gesture, and it will unlock a hidden NES golf game that he programmed.
Wow, that is pretty awesome.
So basically,
Crazy, right?
What I need to do is set my Siri to go off on 2018 on July the 11th.
Yes.
Or just take off your thing from Wi-Fi and change the date on it.
I guess so.
And then do the hand gesture, and then boom. That is awesome.
That's pretty neat. It's the NES Golf from 1984 that you will see pop up theoretically.
Which wasn't exactly the best golf game, but
Well, no, but he made it, so
that's an odd thing to put in there. It must be like the smallest game they could possibly put inside the hard drive or anything.
Well, it's crazy that they made the game active off of a hand gesture on a specific date. Like, how wild is that? Like, the game is...
Well, there used to be on Xbox some of the stuff that they had, and I cannot remember what games it was. There were certain ones that were date-oriented. You could change your date in your console, and there would be certain things that would change, and I can't remember what it is now. Damn it! I'll have to look that up.
What was it? I think Halo 3 had something where, like, if you had the date on Christmas, it had, like, a wedding ring or something in it or something weird like that. Something to do with some dude's wedding that worked on the game.
I vaguely... that sounds vaguely familiar. I can't recall.
I don't remember the exact details. I just kind of remember reading about it, like, quite a long time ago. And I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. And then, yeah.
That was like as deep as you thought about it. Okay, moving on. That's probably how everybody looked at it, because none of us were really like, oh wow, that's super awesome. Let me see what else exists with these specific date time unlocks. Like, whatever, that's neat. Okay, moving on. Wow. So have you guys looked at the new Steam review stuff?
I am in love with it. All I've got to say.
I saw it the other day, actually.
I will let Chicken gush about it, because he told me about it, and he was like, come look at this cool thing. You know?
Yeah, I was looking at Eurogamer and then saw this, and I was like, is that out already? And I pulled up Steam, and I went to Arc. Because Arc is the one that they noticed the biggest switches with, and I was like, all right, I want to look at Arc's graph. And I pulled it up, and it's pretty much exactly what Steam needed. It shows when and how, when the reviews are spread out, so you can pinpoint when a game was review bombed, or the shift in the game's timeline. Basically, when there's a huge negative field when Arc released their paid-for DLC. Like, you could actually see the game dip right there majorly, and you can go, all right, why did the game do so bad in this section? And you can highlight it. And then it highlights all the major reviews in that timeline. And then you're like, oh, this is why the game started to bomb right here. I can understand that. And then you can kind of follow it through the track and see how the game progressed from there. People still weren't happy. Development wasn't right. And instead of just, how it was where it's like, oh, these are the most helpful reviews in the last 30 days, you can go back and track how the game has fallen from where it was. Because at the beginning, it was wonderful. It did really well for a long time, and then you start seeing it drop in certain months, and you can figure out exactly why it dropped.
Yeah, there's certain periods where it's like, oh look, the negative reviews are outweighing the positive reviews.
And you can figure out exactly why. Just read the reviews during that time period, and it's like, all right, so this is understandable why people got so angry during this time period, and you can make your own judgment call from that. Being able to see specific points in time and why people were mad is exactly what it needed, because you can't just review bomb games now, because people can go and look at it.
It's more justifiable. You can see why people are mad instead of it just being like, oh, this one thing happened and everybody got angry. You can see that instead of it being like, I wonder why these dipped so bad. All it is just a bunch of angry people. How long has it been angry?
Exactly.
Why are you so angry?
Yes.
I actually, talking about Arc, I didn't know until I saw No Pants tweet about it, but apparently with Arc, if they're doing server maintenance and you can't log on, it doesn't time stop everything. So if you've got dinos that are going to expire or stuff like that, they'll just die while you can't do anything about it because
Holy
it's offline.
shit.
I was like, really? Because I guess in my mind, I just always thought with a game like that that's so dependent on real-time, care and tending, that if they were going to make it so people couldn't be online for several hours, that they would pause the time clock, I guess, but I guess they don't.
I think they would pause the servers. I mean, Could you imagine how pissed off people would get if, the
No
servers...
Pants seemed pretty angry about it.
Yeah, I mean, they have trouble, like, every game that has server maintenance has come across problems during server maintenance. Oh, you can't get on, servers can't get back up, we're having issues, a bug has been found in the servers, we need to take the servers down for a few more hours, and everyone's like, you son of a bitches, my dinosaur dies in the middle of this, I'm gonna fucking destroy this company.
Sorry, you guys can just keep playing our game and go tame a new one, right?
I mean, maybe that's part of it. I figured with that, it stood out to me because I can't think of any other game that is specific to real-time, sensitivity, where it's like, if you don't do this in this amount of time, these consequences will happen. But with that one, it is. And it just seems weird that they don't have a mechanic to pause that so that you don't fuck a bunch of people over. Like you were saying, if you do take down the servers and there's an issue with it coming back up. It's like, oh, we thought it was going to be like 30-minute maintenance, but here we are 3 hours later. Sorry, everybody. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to me. Problems with... I guess it's because it's a different kind of gameplay. It's problems with that real-time sensitivity.
Maybe.
Strange. So strange.
So odd.
It's so weird to me. Anyway, I just saw it and I was like, I should bring that up to everybody, and then I forgot to tell you all that I was gonna mention it. Sorry, surprise.
It's all right. Everybody gets a surprise. Yay!
I just kind of wanted your take on it. I thought it was strange. I think it's sad to know that baby dinos will die because the servers are down.
Oh,
yeah, but doesn't it take 7? No, wait. You said
for baby dinos.
Yeah, it's babies, which are
right.
like the super sensitive stuff where you have to do things like every couple of hours or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's shit.
So not only do you have to make sure that you manage your game so intricately, you have to also make sure that whatever you're doing coincides with the server maintenance. Oh, server maintenance in 2 days. I can't get a baby dino until after they're done with this, so I got to make sure that I prep everything. And then when servers come back
what
up,
if it took like 8 days to do it?
Holy shit!
Everything, like all of your fridge stuff would expire. You'd come back and be like, "Well, great, now I've got to go back out and do all of this stuff over again."
Yeah, people would come back into the game and then just go, "Nope, I'm done. Log out."
Yeah, it's what happened to us.
They need a pause button. That's all it is. It's like if servers are coming down, just push the pause button.
They need to freeze the servers, basically. It's like, all right, servers coming down for maintenance, freeze. And
all the dinos are just standing there in their funky positions, and somebody can go in and God mode.
See, and then you would have the mistake of like when they log back in, the timer and everything's still on freeze, so none of the dinosaurs are moving. They're all just standing there.
Everybody's like, wait, what is this? Well, how weird would that be to be able to just walk around and everything, like all of the enemies and all of that stuff, like nothing moves. You're just walking in this frozen world. It'd be so creepy.
Yeah, but it'd be so much fun. Like that's what I'm saying. I'd love to be like one of the developers and be able to go into somebody's because they've got the signs and just be able to like have this master key where you just pop up a sign and just be like, developer so and so is here, right? And just call out, like make it so creepy.
You can paint the dinos, so you just paint your name on them.
Oh my! Tag the dinos.
Come back, all your dinos have like freaking graffiti.
I'd paint
on
little
them.
stick figures on the bottom of some of the larger ones.
Like right underneath.
Just like on the bottom of their feet or something like that. Just like little stick figures with little cross eyes.
That would be awesome.
You got that one group that's just pissed everybody else off on the server, and you got that one buddy that happens to be at one of the other groups who goes, come on, man. Just give us a trapdoor. That's all we're asking for is a trapdoor. Let us get into the place.
Or you go in and just move all of their furniture to the outside. So, like, all of the beds and everything, all the refrigerators are now just sitting outside the house. You come back, you're like, what the fuck? Because you can't nail it to the ceiling, unfortunately. But that would be good, too. Just saying.
That would be hilarious.
This is why we are not allowed to be game devs. Because we'd fuck with our players. Nobody would like us.
I don't know. I think somebody, it depends on how bad you did it, but I think some people would think it was funny. Like, you just turn around and go, oh, that Grif. I know it was her.
Because say Grif was here.
Yeah. We'll just act like it wasn't us. We'll just call it, like, the Grif Ghost or something, right?
Yeah. That's what it
paints everything bright orange.
God, it's such a pain to look at. Grif was here.
Oh, too funny.
Sorry, everybody.
Too funny. Other news this week, of course, the Tomb Raider movie, the newest reboot in the movie, trailer came out this week.
And
You
poster.
mean Giraffe Raider?
And the poster. It stars Alicia Vikander. How do you say her last name? Vikander?
You know what? I don't know. We'll just say yes.
Yeah, we'll say that. Anyway, she's an Academy Award winner, and I had no idea. I had to look her up. But the main thing is if you've seen the poster, she has a little bit of a giraffe neck going on.
A little bit.
If you've seen the photoshops, it gets even funnier.
Yes. Photoshops are hilarious. People making her taller, and my favorite is just like when it's, I don't know, she's almost like a dinosaur of some sort.
Her neck is like curved around that one.
Yes. Not really sure. It's like, I guess it's just how she feeds. I don't know what that is. I did watch the trailer. I watched the trailer, though. It does look like it is based very heavily on the Tomb Raider reboot game versus the stuff that Angelina Jolie was in, which was based on nothing except the name Lara Croft.
You mean like most video game movies where it's like, hey, we're going to take the name and the very basic concept and we're going to do a complete U-turn and go this direction.
Right. I'm still not sure if I like her as Laura, but
yeah, I'm not entirely sold on her as
Lara
Croft,
the 2-minute trailer or whatever, full trailer on there, it is, I mean, it does look like it's going to be a good portion similar to the game, so I thought that was pretty awesome.
I really think that movies and games both fall into this trap of, this is a really cool thing to put on a cover / poster. And then, like, half the games you look at or half the movies you look at have the same pose. And you're like, seriously, guys? Seriously?
Yeah, like, I mean, Hollywood's been doing that for a while now where they just keep using, like, the same
I wish they would have
and...
used from the original gaming poster with the bow and arrow, like her, like, just, like, torn up and shooting. Like, I'd been like, oh, that's awesome. And just done it exactly that same way.
Stop reusing content. That's all.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than buying someone to actually, paint a poster, like, what they did with the old Indiana Jones and Star Wars and...
Yeah, but that really feels like a thing of the past now. People don't generally do it anymore, which is kind of sad because they looked really fucking awesome.
Star Wars
those
still does
posters
it
a lot more than the generic pose that this last superhero did, and we're just gonna like throw some other things in the background so you know that it's a different movie.
Yes.
Pretty much. Ugh.
Okay, we want you to stand this way and look over your right shoulder. All right, thank you. No, I want you to stand this way and look over your left shoulder. Thank you.
Can't you just flip it in Photoshop? Nah, that's just too much work. Just here, we'll just take another picture while you're here.
Yeah, your left shoulder looks stronger than your right shoulder, so that's what we're gonna do. We'll flip it if we want to. Yeah, it's like, come on.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Any of the other news stuff?
I just happened to click on this earlier. I have not watched any of this, but you're gonna have to explain to me Perfect Date. The cat lover's dream of dating simulator thing we got going on here?
Okay, do you remember when we used to laugh at Danny O'Dwyer playing Hatful Boyfriend, which is the pigeon dating sim?
Is this
it's
the same
like
thing?
this. Only instead of it being about like the hard and fast let's get in a relationship, it's about actually building intimate, meaningful relationships with the cats that you go on dates with.
Play as a human. Dating cats.
You did in Hatful Boyfriend as
Hatful
well.
Boyfriend, you do too.
Simulation.
That's not right.
Hatful Boyfriend, you're a human that dates pigeons.
There are 6 dateable cats. 5 that are available from the beginning and 1 that's a secret. The cats include the intellectual Floofy Butt, stuck-up Snooty Butt, Grumps Kibbles, Excitable Trixie, or Bad Boy McMurphy.
Okay, every day we stray further from the light of God. Like, oh my god.
Oh god. There was one part of the Eurogamer had a chat, I guess, with the people from Bay Team that are making the game, which, by the way, it's called Bay Team. And one of the quotes was, "We didn't want it to just be bestiality, or we didn't want it to be just bestiality." The fact that you say just bestiality means that there's still some, and that's disturbing on like 17 levels. Like,
I could live without that.
We wanted it to be more about getting to know about the cats.
If
depending on them.
McMurphy is the bad one, do you like have to worry about him like using his claws and swiping at you, and
You know, I don't know.
like making sure that his canned dinner is opened on time?
I don't know. You know what? I don't know. People, don't date your cats.
Yes. Do not date your cats.
I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where it's funny. The video for it is a minute long, and it's basically a music video, so it's kind of catchy and funny. But
Does it play Nyan Cat song?
no, it doesn't.
Okay.
No. So,
No, but you
Disappointed
can
now.
listen to that song while watching Pennywise dance.
That was such a good fucking little bit. Oh god.
yeah. So perfect date if you want to date cats will be on Steam according to the music video thing. Put it on your wish list so you know when it goes on sale because it doesn't have a date yet.
God.
It will be available on Steam this winter.
I really
There you go,
worry
everybody.
about people.
There you go.
I really worry about people. It's just,
Oh my god.
it's just awful.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my
Weird.
god.
It's weird, man. It's weird. Things are getting weird.
Why you gotta get weird? That's what I'm just saying.
What else? We have to move away from this because now all I can think about is like just
Dating
the creep
cats.
factor.
Oddworld
of it.
Abe's Odyssey
Creep
was
factor.
free for a little bit.
What?
Oddworld Abe's Odyssey was free on Steam for a little while.
It's not anymore though.
No.
Was it the new and
For
tasty,
that
or
bit
was
of
it the
update.
original?
The original Abe's Odyssey.
Okay.
'Cause I
New and
grabbed it.
tasty is Abe's Odyssey. It was just the HD version.
Oh, I don't know, just Abe's Odyssey is what it was.
Okay. That's a good game if you like things
I mean,
blowing up.
it's still
'Cause
like
you die a
$3,
lot in
but-
that game,
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
that
lot of
game is
trial and
20 years old.
error
Holy
in that
shit.
game.
and it go hello.
Well, Oddworld
Hello.
Soulstorm is apparently going to rewrite a bunch of the rules for the Oddworld lore, I guess. So,
So they're retconning.
Or just
Yeah, 'cause,
rebooting.
you know.
Rebooting.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be more of a reboot considering it's been 20 years.
Yeah.
Don't be judgy.
Whatever.
It does look like Monster Hunter World has gotten a release date, which there were a lot of people in line for that when I was at PAX West, and they had this massive dragon that was just huge above everything. And it looks like it'd be January 26th.
Mike, are you excited about that one? You've been a Monster Hunter fan in the past. Is that still your cup of tea?
I'd still like to play it, but I'd like to find people to actually play with. It gets kind of hard and boring going through by yourself.
My PS4 is right here now.
So is it console
Yeah, but
only?
see, here's the thing
Yeah,
though. You got it
it's
on
Xbox One
3DS
and
and you didn't
PlayStation
like
4.
it.
Yeah. I don't like that 3DS style, but this one seems like it's a much different monster, no pun intended.
This seems, based on watching other people play it, it seems very like open world WoW-like. Like it's very, like you've got the monsters and everything that's on there, and you're going through and kill. Like I don't know how the 3DS one's set up. But
3DS was similar to like the PlayStation 2, where like I mean it is kind of open world, but they divide it off by like sections. So like you would go into like a section of the world, and then you'd move through, and then you'd have to load up the next little section. Mainly because of limitations. I mean, the PS2 version was kind of like that too.
Yeah, I figured now they'll probably have some type of like streaming stuff in between that to keep that from being a thing, from moving from one section to another. But based on the part that I saw, I didn't see any loading. But I mean, it was like a 3-hour, 4-hour wait for a lot of those people waiting in line for the game. so I don't know. But it looked really good. Like it was a pretty looking game, like very pretty. I like it made me interested in it. Just from watching other people play it.
I mean, it's essentially you go out, you have your starter gear, you do quests for people, you kill monsters, take their parts, and then you can use those parts to create better armor, better weapons, so you can take down even bigger and tougher dinosaur monsters or whatever, and just kind of keep. It's a big farming game. except you get to kill shit.
There's a free-to-play style of game like this, and I cannot fucking remember the name of it, but
Ark. Oh wait, that's not free to play.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's not
actually
free.
it's actually Monster Hunter style. Like you get your group of 4 people, you go out and you basically fight a boss, and he's got some crazy different. Like, there's a bunch of different monsters that you got to fight, and they have a bunch of different strategies and things like that. I cannot fucking remember the name of it. Well, if I do, I will tell you guys.
If I ever remember, I'll be sure to let you know. So like 2 weeks from now, he'll just
It'll be
blurt it
like
out.
it'll pop into my head. I'll be like, oh, that was what I was thinking of.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yes.
Pretty much. I mean, you know it. I know it. Let's just admit it.
Yeah. I think
the only
that's it.
Yep. That might have been the last one.
Yep.
I mean, that
well,
was quite a bit of news.
the only other thing I can see is we've got pictures basically of Square Enix's new game Left Alive,
Meh.
which
Was it supposed to be like a Metal Gear-esque kind of thing, developed by similar people?
looks
Some of
very
the
similar to the
same people,
Division in some
actually.
of the shots.
It's not in-game footage as it says at the beginning. So
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Unless you find a way to like put the skins on like the PC version or something like that later on, then it can look as pretty.
There you go.
You know, kind of like with Watch Dogs.
Poor Watch Dogs.
Shots fired. Like from 4 years ago. Too funny.
Sorry, they're never gonna live that one down. Where it's just gonna be like, yeah, look how awesome and pretty and detailed this game looks, and we're gonna give you the shit version of it, but we're gonna leave the files for the good version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, about that. Anyway, that's just... Okay, sorry. Carry
Oh
on.
Lord. Well, we do appreciate everybody hangs out with us.
Can you words?
Yeah, no, I cannot. We do appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week at Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us on Twitter at Infinite Res PC. Check me out personally at MDB Oaktree. Check Grif out.
What?
your Twitter.
I know! You just like... Okay, sorry. You went off the rails for a second and I got lost and then confused. Okay, well, I'm at Griff's Line, so... Carry on.
You can check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
You can check out Baka.
At Baka Pickle.
Also, make sure that you go to our YouTube channel as well, where you can go on there and see the video version of the podcast, as well as old Let's Plays, and also some videos that Grif did that are pretty awesome sauce. Yes, I said awesome sauce. Get over it. And also go to infiniterespawn.com, go on there, join the forums, and hang out. And I'm pretty sure Grif has been hanging out there recently. So
I'm trying.
Yep.
I'm just weird talking to myself.
So yeah, go talk to her. Somebody's got to talk to
Slowly.
her. So she's not talking to herself. That way she's not crazy.
But
We
it's
do
more fun to
appreciate-
pretend she is.
fair enough.
Thanks.
For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oaktree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Chicken.
I'm Baka.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.